Hello, it's me, and another tutorial coming at you for the client-side tutorial series. I got rid of the SP because it's a waste of life, but we're gonna make something that isn't really. We're gonna be making a client-side mute, and one of the big problems that everybody likes to whine and bitch to Gary about is the fact that he removed the little player list thing where you could mute people who were annoying you for whatever reason. And I am among those whiners and bitchers, so sorry. But unlike them, I did something about it. I made a simple client-side script to mute and or unmute whatever player I want. Now most game mode developers put this in the scoreboard, but some don't, and I want the ability to do it if I can run my client-side script. So let's get going. First thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need a function to find the player by his nickname or Steam name or whatever. So let's define that now. Yeah, we'll use also, I was looking through the past videos, and I did notice that the text was a little hard to read. It is easy if you're in 720 or 1080, but if you're in a lower resolution it's hard, so I'll just do that. I hope that's okay. No, that's a little ridiculous here. I'll do this. This should be fine, honestly. Right here, it's ginormous. It might actually be too big, but we'll try it. We'll go with this. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Anyway, so first thing we want to do is lower everything so that we don't have to worry about capitalization and stuff. And you can do this two different ways. You can do this like this, or rather, yeah, capital or something. What the fuck? No, it's just that. But I don't like doing it that way. I like using string.lower and then just redefining like that. God, this text seems so big. It's disorienting to type this way, honestly. Anyway, so now that name is the lower version, the lowercase, we're gonna loop through all the players. Fucking hell. And we're gonna start with the Steam ID. God damn it. I'm coughing too much. Sorry. So if the Steam ID is not valid, if it's not what we inputted, then we'll go to the unique ID. And yeah. So before I continue, the reason we don't have to do else here is because it's already returning v, which means it exits out of the function and it does not continue in the loop or in the rest of the function. So that's why we don't have to define an else or whatever. But anyway, so if it's not the Steam ID or the unique ID, then it's probably either their nick or their Steam name. So let's go with their nick first, and we'll lower that as well. And we'll use string.find, and the reason for this is so that you can type a partial name. Like if you were going to search for FrozenLua and you just put in frozen, it would still return me. So if it finds a partial name, we'll return the player as well. And just for dark-RP compatibility purposes, we're going to check first of all if player object Steam name is valid, and if it is, then we will proceed. Again, string.lower. And the reason we did this up here, v.steamName, is because in dark-RP it defines the function on the player as v.steamName. We'll learn about that when we discuss metatables and things like that for the player object, but it's defined as a function on the player metatable. So we look and see if it is indeed there, and if it is, then we can access it. Otherwise, just do nothing. But anyway, we are going to, use string.find once again, and we're going to we're going to look for name in his Steam name as before, and if it does find it, then we'll return that player. So that's it for the find player function. Let's define the actual mute player function. So how con commands work is you have the player, the command, and the arguments, which is in a table. So first thing we're gonna do is define the con command that I add. I'll just do mute player, mute player. So first thing we want to do is make sure there is an argument, because if there isn't, then there's no point in continuing. So basically, if you don't know how this works, args is a table, so we're saying if there is element 1 of args, then we can proceed. If not, then just do nothing. So first thing we want to do is check that if it even finds a player at all, because if it doesn't, it's gonna throw some nil value problems and what have you. So if there is, then we can proceed and set a variable target as 1. There we go. Disregard that. So the first thing we want to do is flip whether or not he's muted or not. So we'll do set muted target, or we'll do a not character, the exclamation point, and we'll use the isMuted method to find out whether or not he's muted. So there's that. That is in essence all you need, but wouldn't it be nice to have the console respond and say he's muted or he's no longer muted or whatever? So we'll do that right now. First thing we want to do is define the color, RGB. This would be a bright green color by default. I'll also define a message text. I'll just start this on unmuted, and then say, because we'll just put that as the default action. And if he is muted now, see, it was set muted before is muted, so if it's now muted as per our action, then we can set this color to a red color and set the message text to muted. So then what we can do is we can use the message C function, which is message color, put in that color variable, uses Nick, and then concatenate on some text, has been message text, period, and a new line character, because message C does not do that automatically. So there we go. That is in essence muting. I'll just zoom back out to a sensible, yeah, there we go. That's really all there is to it. So the usage in game is just you go into your console and you type mute player frozen, and you can type literally any combination of letters and capitals and whatever. As long as it's in there, it'll find it and it will toggle whether or not they're muted. And I'm too lazy to start my game and show you, but trust me, it works. If you don't, do it yourself, and it'll work. It will mute them. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, sorry.